Hey there everybody, here we are again, all season adventures. As you guys can see from the moving vehicles around, we finally got the Acura all done. No rust spots sticking around on her, no more. And front bumper looking nice and pretty, well, at least for all season adventures standards. And unfortunately we got the Jeep frame sitting out there. She's under the tarp at least, so not too bad. And then what we got now is the old 84 F150. Let me quickly show you guys what we got on the list to do to this beast, and then I got a story for you guys. I'll show you. Oh yeah, I already did clean up and got a little bit of a mess in here now. A whole bunch of leaves and debris that came from the box, as well as around here. So let me quickly show you guys what I got on the whiteboard that we need to do to this thing, and then I'll tell you a story about why I'm pretty attached to this truck. Just so you guys know, I love this truck. I'll never give it up. And so if you guys are thinking about buying it, she ain't for sale. But anyhow, let me show you guys what we got to do. There you go. Here's our whiteboard there. Got to patch some rust holes, fuel gauge issues, oil change, head gasket. Let me go through one at a time here. Okay, first on the list, we got to patch some rust holes, as I showed you last week. We got one there, and one on the other side. And then here, we have to double check it out a little bit closer. Then this, definitely need to patch some there. And I think that's about it for the rust holes. Fuel gauge issues. Yeah, right now it's a little bit wonky. Okay, let me try to explain this. As I'm driving, this truck has two fuel tanks. Primary, auxiliary. And let's get the cab here. There we go, we got our switch right there for primary and auxiliary. If I have it on primary tank, my fuel gauge will not move at all. But then when I switch it to auxiliary tank, if I'm driving, I will see the fuel gauge slowly go down. So, a little bit wonky. We gotta get that sorted out. Next on the list, oil change. That's just regular yearly maintenance. Change your oil, go through that. Head gasket. Last year we had some white in the oil, so we could have a leaking head gasket. If we do, bit of a job, not the end of the world, which I don't mind, because I do have some headers that could go in the truck. So if we need to change the head gasket, put some headers, a little bit more performance at the same time. But if we don't have to change the head gasket, hey, easy. So anyhow, we're going to try to do a test on that, figure that out. Sun visors. As you can see, just got little metal clips there holding it, so I'm going to try to sort that out. And I got some other sun visors that I want to put on there, which I'll share a story with you guys about those later on. Little simple one. I do have a spare steering wheel, which has the actual Ford emblem that goes there, so we'll put that on there. Wipers, you guys know what windshield wipers are. They're beaten up. Change those. Tailgate, a little bit wonky for opening and closing. We'll see what we can do with that. and I got 2 tires with slow leaks, so I'm going to try to sort those out. So I'm going to quickly sweep this mess up, and then I'll share a story with you guys as to why I'm so attached to this truck. So anyhow, hold on for a second, I'll be right back. Cheers. Okay, so time to get into why this old 84 truck is important to me. Might find it silly, but anyhow, it's not the exact truck that I learned how to drive on, but it's pretty damn close. The exact truck that I learned how to drive on is still alive in Nova Scotia. The old man, my dad, he still has it. Well, the business he worked for, Cummo Twins Machine Shop, they still have it. Well, half of the truck, pretty much the cab forward, they have it, and then the back, the dry shaft, is running a sawmill. So it's still running. So anyhow, I learned how to drive on that truck. The drivetrain's still going, kind of. So I always kind of wanted again. So eventually, I kept on looking bit by bit on the old Kijiji, looking for an 84 F150. Eventually, I found one. I found this one here. I can't remember what they wanted to trade a street bike or a snowmobile or ATV. I had a KX125 that I wasn't using, so I gave them a shout. Said, hey, you want to swap my KX125 for your old F150? And they said, sure, no problem. And I loved it. As soon as I even asked what color the interior was, he said, it's some shitty brown color. As soon as he said that, I'm like, no freaking way. It's the same color as the old man's truck was. And before, this when I bought it, it came, it was gray. So I actually did get the paint code off my dad's, the actual truck. And so I painted the exact same color that it would have been 84. And this one here only came with single gas tanks, so I did convert it to dual gas tank, except for instead of a 19-gallon tank on the back, I got a 38-gallon in the back or something like that. Pulls lots of gas, so we got 38-gallon in the back, 19 in the front, I think. I can get over around 1,000 kilometers on 2 tanks of gas. Mind you, it does cost $250 to fill it up. So then for the drivetrain, just got the regular old school reliable 302 in here, 4-speed manual. So I love this truck. And I mentioned about my visors. I do have, kicking around somewhere or outside, I do have some spare parts where I did grab a whole bunch of original parts from the truck that I learned how to drive on, such as the shift knob that I already have in here, but the visors, those I will be grabbing the ones from the original truck and putting them in here. So then I got a few little panels from the original that I put in here bit by bit. So so there's you go. There's the story as to why I'm so attached to this truck. And then eventually, the Ranger. You guys seen the old Beast Ranger many a times. I always go camping with that one. When I retire, my plan is to do one final trip with that one cross country. And then this one, I do want to build a house in the back. So the Ranger is the cottage. This is going to be the house. And I'm not going to build a house quite this year. I might start on it. I'll see. But don't you worry. I will show you guys that process. So anyhow, without further ado, I already drained the fuel out of the gas tank. So next step, let's tear that dash apart and try to figure out why the fuel gauge isn't working. So stay tuned, my friends. Cheers. Okay, our first step will be removing our top dash panel, which I don't mind because I have found some mice nests up in here before. So this way, if there is some more, we can clean that out. And anyhow, all that there is for that is a few screws underneath here when I remove the corner here. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you a few other reasons why I like this old truck. I love the simplicity of it. I know lots of people like modern fuel injection technology. This here is just an old simple carburetor. So it's like that. If you let it sit for a while, it'll be hard to, well, not crazy hard to start. Usually all I need to do is take off the air cleaner, put some gas in there a few times, and then turn the key, and then she'll fire right up. And so far, this thing hasn't left me a foot yet. It's left me waiting a few times, but eventually she always starts again. And another thing I like too, if you look on my column here, I only have one lever. The only lever I have on this column is for my turn signal. The high-low beam is actually down on the floor, which I like. It's kind of unique. Let's see if we got one more screw here, I believe. I forget one. That should be all good. Pop this bad boy out. Oh no, still got a few up here. And like I mentioned, just regular 4-speed. They're tough transmissions, but I wouldn't mind a 5th gear because on the highway, this thing does start turning the high RPMs a little bit higher. Because back when this truck around, you didn't have any 100km/h zones. It was all like 80s. And I like this radio here. It does look old school, but it's actually an aftermarket. I can't remember the brand name, but actually let me quickly show you guys. It looks like the old school push buttons, but there you go. It actually is digital, so that is kind of cool, which I kind of like. Got a little bit of modern technology with the old school. Someday I'd like to change my lights back here with a LED one, and the same with the headlights. So time to remove our dash and see what we got hiding underneath here. I'll pull this out, then I'll show you if we got a mess. Hold on a second. Well, see, we got our dash. Got some good news. There is no squirrel or rat's nest or mice nest in there, so that's definitely some good news. So what we're gonna do next, we already drained the primary fuel tank. Next we're gonna drain the big one in the back, and then we will add like 5-gallon jug in the first one, and then we'll keep looking, make sure that that's how we're going to kind of try to designate which is where, because unfortunately I have searched and searched for a wiring diagram for the switch here, and there's no wiring diagram to be found, and we have 4 wires in the back, so we kind of have to mismatch and keep guessing. I'm sure someone out there knows with a multimeter how to figure out what goes where, but that someone is not this guy here, so we got to go with the jiggling wires back and forth till we find the proper solution. So anyhow, let me show you how I drain the rear gas. Hold on. Okay, so to get the fuel out of the rear tank, some people have some fancy electric pumps that works pretty darn good, but at all season we don't have tons of money here, so obviously we're driving old beat up trucks. So one way, I did pick up this cheap ass suction pump thing from Canadian Tire. I can't remember how much it cost me, but it doesn't work very good. So I'm going to show you one method. No, I'm not going to siphon gas. I have siphoned gas in the past, and some of you guys who have done it before can probably know that gasoline doesn't taste very good. So what I'm going to do first, cram this in the hose inside here. Right there. Let me go get a funnel. Hold on a second. Instead of using our mouth, got ourselves. We need the vacuum to suck the gas out. So put it on there, and gasoline should come out, as you can see. Well, we might be low on gas here, so what we're gonna do, put like 1 5-gallon jug in the front one. Okay, take a peek and see. I think I see the fuel gauge moving, so hey. There. Well, I guess it's time for me to wrap this video up. It's going long enough. Normally I like to try to keep these Thinkering Thursdays between 5-10 minutes. It's a bit longer. I know this one has been a little bit different than my other ones. Way more talking than I normally do. I don't know if that's good or bad. You guys can feel free to let me know down in the comments. I like reading comments whenever there's some. But yeah, I do know I just finished editing everything that I just did, and I do realize that my sound quality is horrible. I keep trying to raise the volume up and then lower the sound of music down a bit, and doing so it makes just for. I do need better audio equipment. I know that. Maybe Christmas time. We'll see. A little hint for maybe some sort of family member to give me some better audio equipment. I have to do some homework and see what works for my setup, because unfortunately my camera that I'm using right now, I cannot hook on to any external mics. I know my phone that I have here I can, so someday I might have to try to set that up better. But anyhow, as per normal, I just gotta say thanks to you guys for watching. 15, 20 of you guys who are, I appreciate it. And another thing I didn't tell you guys, I do have lights on top of the roof I just put on. Those came off the original 84 F150 that the old man had, so At some point, we're going to wire those in. Probably wire those into the side marker lights or something. So as soon as you turn the headlights on, those are on. So that'll be in the near future too. I don't plan on making a huge series out of this. Probably 2 videos at the most. So that being said, I'll probably do the body work on my own this weekend. But this weekend, hopefully change the wipers, do the oil, and just keep you guys involved with some things. So anyhow, thanks again, and until next time, everybody, remember to live, and cheers.